Good live streaming.
If there's any highlight reels, so of course on the breaks we'll usually show you guys some of this action. But I see maybe one thing. Yesterday was quite an insane show, and when you mentioned about Bagikan esports, there was some games that they almost get that chicken dinner, and they were so close once again.
Yeah. It's all thanks to Friends Horror Gaming as well. That last match into the Eric Yo match where Eric took that chicken dinner there. It's all because okay, you have to give credit to the senior. He definitely clutched a huge round in that particular round.
Yeah.
And besides that, with the help of Chopper Q as well, just making huge uses with the backlight, thinking his way through just the final circle through under the water. That was insane for them, and Big Four so close. But you can start to see as well, all these teams starting to understand the power, the effectiveness of macro gameplay and the butterfly effect here. However, before we talk a little bit more about the teams here, let's take a look into the schedule of PUBG Mobile Club Moving Southeast Asian League. And of course, the PUBG Mobile PMCO says SEA League 2019 will derive from 20 teams from across all these nations and 4 wildcard teams get divided into 3 groups through a draw event with 8 teams in each group, and the PMCO C League consists of 5 weeks in total and 5 match days per week. Now we're into week number 4 already. On Wednesdays to Friday, we will have 4 games as for today. We'll have 4 games as well. And over on the weekends, it's always going to be 6 games per day, all the way from Saturday as well as Sunday. And of course, it's going to be long riders, all these teams. And of course, the PMCO Grand Finals qualifier. First here is going to be the PMCO Southeast Asian League phase. The 4 highest ranking teams representing different regions will qualify for the PMCO Southeast Asian Grand Finals here. And of course, excluding 4 regional number 1 teams, the top 12 teams in the PMCO Southeast Asia League 2019 will advance into the PMCO Southeast Asia Grand Finals here. And of course, the 16 teams from the PMCO C League 2019 will fight for the championship in a 2-day tournament in Japan. That's right. And I'm looking forward for the rounds in Jakarta. This is the prize breakdown for the weekly, and this prize will be distributed after each week. So first place will walk away with 1.4K, 5,000 on second place, and 800 on third place. And you can see the deduction of 200 as we go all the way down to, sixth place, all the way up to 8th, and in total you'll have 26K of prize won by all these teams week. So that's more money to move on, and not forgetting the highest so far, first one, I think RRQ. First one, the second one, RRQ taking the third one in here. And of course, the points that taken over week is counted. It counted independently each week. These teams, and of course, the SEA will have an allowance for each of these teams here. There's a total of 24 teams, so each of them will receive $8,000 to actually survive all these grueling weeks of games. And it has been challenging run for all of them. And now it's slowly coming to an end, and everyone's just being so competitive, especially the ones that are trying to cut it into the top 16. And of course, all these teams are definitely going to be pushing their heads over most to actually qualify to the grand finals here. And you can see from yesterday's games as well, teams have started to be a little bit more aggressive now compared to the previous stages here. And they have started to adapt. They have started to prioritize on timing, venturing into the best crucial positions here. However, from the perspective of now, you can see Box Gaming here. They were struggling a little bit here, and I had a couple of competitions from South Indonesia. After Vietnam, they did mention they were on top one, but yesterday they were tired. Yeah, I see a lot of movies. They really look a little bit worn out towards game 3 onwards, because it has been a really long day from the morning. They've been practicing a whole lot, and Box Gaming did secure some top positioning somewhere around the top 5 most of the time, but they didn't really secure games yesterday, so that was a little bit worrisome. And meanwhile, Team Secret is back, as we will have Group B versus Group C today, and Mr. Alex Serra alongside with Steel 9K has been in the highlights
in the last couple of games that they played over the previous week.
I'm definitely looking forward to see how Team Secret will be playing this phase here because, like, lately, this past 2 weeks here, they've been adapting to the metas and every single team here. And of course, Cindy, one of the craziest snipers, I guess.
Yeah, and also Ready the Shy Guy as well.
He's
Yeah.
very, very shy. Guy.
He is so good in sniping. A lot of times that it was just really unlucky where when he had a couple of good angles. Some of these teammates actually really falling, so this leaves him not much
Chú,
to
chú
actually.
la vắng rồi chú.
But as
Có
the
lần
weeks
luput
go
thì
by, he's
mình
been
sắp phải xem thước.
sharpening
Kịp
his
kia
skills.
kìa.
Same goes to Friends Forever Gaming right here, and of course the superstar Buggy already preparing so much for this game, and Kitsu usually gives him a lot of great support as well.
Bucky has been clutching, you know, like we in the chats among the communities as well, they do call him the true winter soldier, of
Oh
course.
yeah, he is the Winter Soldier right there. But winter is past. Now it's about summertime, and we're looking at pure skills. And you talked about the clip that we saw yesterday. How touching it was.
so touching. You
Yeah.
know, like I actually cried on the side. I'm like, oh no, what's happening here is so quite. It's quite
Glad it was
emotional
off cam.
because you must understand. All of us here, we've been here for 5 weeks as well, and you know, kind of miss home and stuff like that. So it's understandable that some of the teams may want to head back as well, and it's very hard to actually keep up your mental health as well to actually focus with this tournament as well. But surprising, Pure Skills, they're the only team from the wildcards here actually maintaining in the top 6 position overall ranking.
Yeah.
So great stuff here coming from Pure Skill. Hopefully we'll be able to see more action for them in today's game.
Yeah, I really love how Pure Skills usually operate. They can play any style that they want, and usually they just open fire onto anything that they see passing by. And some of these guys are going to be a little bit shaky coming from the side of Team Secret. Now everyone's still having a little bit of small time to discuss whatever they want. Meanwhile, the guys from FFQ knows that it's time to go head on straight into round number 1. We're going into Vikendi real soon.
And of course, speaking of the map of Vikendi as well, we've seen a couple of teams here, especially Illuminate the Murder, come up with a couple of interesting strategies where they actually prioritize the timings of cutting rotations here. We've talked about this many times for the past 4 weeks, right? Like the positions that they take is so unorthodox and so risky, but only they can pull it off. It's kind of like a high risk, high return kind of situation, and it's so hard to execute because it requires a 4-man team setup to actually camp towards the under of the bridge. Situation we can in game number 1 yesterday. However, as you can hear the alarm here, Contra, are you excited?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for our first game of today. This is day number 2 of week 4 once again as we're heading straight into Vikendi. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be filled with a lot of action, and this Group B versus Group C usually is really exciting to watch because they are so tactical. They always look for all these perfect vantage points to actually snipe people up. And now that we don't really have to do it, the Murder, the one that you hyped up earlier on, we are locking our eyes onto our Archeo team. Will they be able to actually get as much advantage that they can, as their brothers are actually resting for the day?
Definitely going to be looking forward to see how they're going to be doing this game here as well. And RQ as well as Box Gaming is definitely a team you've got to be watching out for. Lately they've been off cam for quite some time. They've been playing the slow pacing game, playing towards the later phase of the game. And I've talked to Marco as well. He did mention that his teams love to play the late game strategy where they actually drop and loot up as much as possible and try and fight in the final circle before and try to avoid as much early engagements before they actually go for the next fight here. However, seeing for the flight path here, you can see Team Secret actually making a stretch towards Krichas or maybe even towards the North Port here. And RQ will be taking Goroka without a doubt here, uncontested to this date. Of course, Pure Skill will be taking Movatra for himself. Yudu Gang will be heading towards potentially Mjolnir or maybe towards the winery district here.
Yeah, usually Yudu will hit all the way down south, and this will give them that sort of advantage as we look into the first phase circle. It is somewhat towards the central as well as the south. So Pure Skills is already inside of Novatra, which is also covered by the zone. They may be able to actually cut off some section when Arof decides to make a route move alongside with Team Secret as well as IDX. So let's see if there's going to be any battles. Meanwhile, inside of this town of Dobomestro, it's going to be pretty quiet for the side of Arof, where they can secure as much loot as possible.
Arof has always been taking the town for quite some time now. Several times the circle has been favoring towards the western side of the map as well. It has been a great run for them. However, from this game onwards here, now it's going to be out of town here. They're going to be forced out towards the south side here. But now, from the perspective of talk here, a little bit of a weak showing lately, and we were hyping out about how well Stalker is a player solely from the side talk, and same goes for Rio and Cameron without doubt. UG always supporting good whenever they can here, but a little bit unfortunate because they've not been able to find the best rotation timing. Because I think most of the time they kind of clipped off in early engagements and they lose like 2 to 3 men.
Yeah, that is sort of unfortunate for Tong. You know how strong they are in these early fights where they could easily just go in for invasions into any territory, and they would know how to actually pull off a great flank. But after that, when you are going to rotate into an open field, they lost all sorts of idea on how to actually approach fights, because when you're actually rotating, you don't always have the necessities such as a barricade, a wall, or anything that you can work with. And from certain angles, it's a little bit difficult for inside to talk, and they always get caught in sticky situations. And I do hope that today will be a good day for them, because they are currently sitting at the bottom of the standings, and we know how good Stalker and some of these guys are from the side of the Wolf of Killer, and I just want to see them rise up once again.
Oh, very early movements here coming from RRQ here, as they're going to be sending D2E early off to try and scout out ahead, try to find the best possible position in that circle, and try and get up some kind of rotations here. However, from the side of Junior Talent just now, a little bit interesting because Junior Talent actually usually most of the time would go towards the vicinities of Cosmodrome, but the problem